All right, I am bored, so I am back at it again. And if you're wondering why Young Mellow is the thumbnail for this, because I'm talking about the pink pillars, and her gums are uber pink. So, hey, let's get it. Make sure you smash that like, share this video in all the Kevin Samuels groups, comment, yeah, all that good stuff.
Already think. Don't get mad at me because you didn't know. I don't think that. Hold on. I don't think that women are attracted to looks and money, but confidence. I've seen ugly dudes take on women. Thanks, Patsy. That may be for you. The thing is, it don't matter what you take home. It matters what you keep.
You should have taken your own advice, Mr. Samuels. It's not who you take home, it's who you keep.
And you can't keep these men. Women can't. Dudes with just confidence. Confidence don't pay the motherfucking mortgage. Okay? So.
And arrogance doesn't keep you alive.
And late great Patrice O'Neal, you don't go to a fish and ask it how to catch fish. You got to go to a fisherman. We fish. Confidence and broke ain't a good look. What you confident in? Oh Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm glad that wasn't on screen. That was not good. All right, so anywho, the subject of the day is modern women are a party of one. That's what we're talking about. Modern women are a party of one. Before we get started, the candle of the evening is from Diptyque, and it is called Coriander. Coriander is the fragrance. The candle of the evening, and the fragrance is probably one of the best.
Now, I forgot to add that into his revenue stream for the people that said he died broke. I wasn't even talking about the candles. I was only focused on the cologne and all the other revenue streams.
As fragrances in the freaking world. This one right now.
The only type of endorsements that these bitter black women have are child support. Charlize, I'm on here late because I couldn't sleep. But child support is a black woman's endorsement. They are endorsed by the Attorney General. That's it. They mad because he had endorsements, though.
Holding out. Holding out for what? Holding out for what?
And what's up, Kim? What's up?
Holding out for something better or a party of one. Holding out for this and holding out for that. Who the heck are you ladies holding out for?
Who are you holding out for? Because if you were married, you'd probably still be alive.
What? Again, they're insinuating that because he wasn't married to that lady, that she didn't try hard enough to save his life. Like, what?
Who are you holding out for, Kevin?
Or are you insinuating that he was killed, but he wouldn't have been killed if he was with his wife? I'm trying to figure out why people are saying it.
When you ask women today, who are every bit of, danger zone. Danger zone! 27 to 35, when a woman needs to focus like a laser on the outcome she wants as far as relationships. But when you ask women who are in their mid to late 30s, even in their early 40s, who are boss chicks, bad chicks, got my money together, I got my master's.
I'm a PhD.
Got my master's, but can you cook?
I don't need a cookbook.
They got their PhD and everything else. They don't have a cookbook, but they damn sure do have a cookbook. All right, what is the one thing you tend to hear? Some sort of, well, I'm doing what I'm doing right now, and I'm in a waiting position. I'm waiting for, God to send that man to me. I'm holding out. So I'm going to go, nam nam you renge
What was that? Mama say, Mama sa mumangum sa. What kind of a spell was Kevin trying to put on us?
Till that man comes along. Why are so many modern women holding out? What are you holding out for? Whatever it is, ladies, it ain't working.
Kevin, what were you holding out for? I mean, you got all the answers, sir. You know what it takes to be a high value man, right? And you have access to all these young 25-year-old chicks that you can't, you can throw a stick
But
at.
let me just say this. I get annoyed when women try to create things like to counteract men when it's not necessary. Like the name of this channel was called The Pink Pill. Cause they got red pill and then they got MGTOW. So then they created WGTOW. Women going their own way. And it's just like, but us women have gone our own way forever. The whole reason why they created MGTOW and the Manosphere was to have things go their way for a change. So that's just something that just annoys me. Cause it's like it's unnecessary. But whatever.
Because they're just surrounding you. What were you holding out for? If you had all the answers, sir, where was your wife? Where?
Well, according to his close friends, he was in fact contemplating. I don't know if this is a fact, but I've heard this from people that were close to him. He was contemplating marrying that woman that was giving him CPR. So, seems like he was working on it.
How do you tell people how to get married when you're not? How dare you tell people who's worthy of
the same way Steve Harvey tells us what to do, and he's been married 5 times. Like you can learn from people for what to do and for what not to do. You can't tell somebody that hasn't been successful in something that they can't talk about that. Like talking can bring change. The first step in what change is admitting that there's a problem in the first place.
Marriage when you're not. How dare you talk about all the things that are wrong with other people in relationships? In your relationships, every relationship you've been in has been fucked up. You haven't had a single healthy relationship.
And you don't know that. The woman giving him CPR could have been a healthy. I mean, clearly it was healthy enough for him to be contemplating marrying her.
Not one. I mean, listen. I was married once and I was married for 20 years. That's not
exactly Joey the Blind Panther. They hating somebody that actually wanted to see the black race do better, but will let Hitler go into power or all these other folks.
Failure. 20 years is a life sentence in the penal system. That's not.
Maybe you need some penis while you're worried about the penal system. Maybe you need some penis and you wouldn't be on here with your pink pill.
Failure. But being married for a year and getting divorced, and then being married for 2 years and getting divorced, that's a failure.
Or it could have been somebody who recognized that the marriage wasn't working and it was toxic and it was diametrically opposed to the lifestyle he wanted and he ended it. Would you have wanted him to stay in an abusive relationship if it was abusive or if it was negative or if it was whatever it was, irreconcilable differences? Would you have wanted him to stay in the marriage for 20 years? It doesn't matter if you was married for 2 years or 20 years. If it ended, it ended. So your marriage ended after 20 years. That's even worse. That means you wasted all them years married for nothing when you could have gotten a divorce or whatever and found the person that you really wanted to be with. Or are you a widow? I'm assuming it ended in divorce. But you see what I'm saying? Oh, that's like me saying,
It's like me saying I'm better than you because my sin ain't, as bad as yours. Like, oh well, I'm gonna talk about you for getting divorced, but you got divorced too. But it's just I'm better than you because my marriage lasted longer. It still ended. It was a the end at that motherfucker. Like, what the freak? It definitely ain't to be continued because you too bitter. At least Kevin Samuels had a to be continued after his ending, as in a plethora, hope I'm saying that right, of women that would want to date him. So
What did you hold out on? I mean, you have all the answers, Kevin. You have all of the answers. You had all of them. So why didn't you pick your wife? Why were you just playing with women like all of you types of men do? You want to tell women what they need to do to get married so they can jump through hoops and be on a hamster wheel indefinitely, so you can exploit them, use their resources, use them up until there's nothing left. But you're not marrying. Black men are not marrying black women like that. We have the lowest marriage rates. The lowest. We got the highest divorce. And we got the highest divorce rates.
And I bet you filed for divorce, didn't you, Miss Pink Pill? I know you did.
And we've got the highest out of wedlock rates. So all of these discussions about what black women need to do.
Right. 2 whole decades, Joey. 2 whole decades. That's crazy. At least he had enough sense to know, this ain't working. You let it go on for over 2 decades.
Get married? That's so weird. Because every single man that I hear saying what black women need to do to get married ain't even married. And you're so unmarried, you're so unmarried as fuck that you were alone and you died alone.
Just technically, he didn't die alone because he wasn't alone. Do y'all not know the definition of alone? Half of y'all can't even get a LOAN loan. But you don't know the definition of alone. That means by one's self. He was not by himself when he died. And there's proof from the police report and the 911 call. Again, you know what? Because these niggas gonna learn today. We need to look up the definition of the word alone. Okay, let me look that up real fast. Alone. All right. Let's see what Webster got to say about it. He's a man. Will that offend you? How come it wasn't Keisha? Why it gotta be Webster? Everything gotta be a man. Bitter. Just call you hoes lemon. All right. Y'all drive a lemon, and y'all bitter like lemons. Alone, definition, having no one else present. Clearly somebody was present. Clearly. That's the person that called 911, Miss Pink Pill.
Like you said, all these other women were going to die alone. That's what happened to you.
And the net result of it is you become a party of one. Modern woman, party of one. Your table's ready. What do you mean a party of one? A party of one. They become a party of one. Because as your friends who actually decided, you know what, I'm going to be a teacher or an accountant or whatever, I'm not going to make enough money to pay for my life, my property, my retirement, and everything else. I'm not going to be able to fund my retirement. So I'm going to partner with somebody else, and we're just going to try to make this thing work. Now, you got so many women who, just because they went to college, figure out that raises their value, especially this group.
I'm a PhD.
I have my ladies focus group.
That never gets old.
The other day, and
please, the estate of Kevin Samuels, please release the soundboard, please, so all of us content creators can play them sounds. Shoot, I'm a PhD. I'm gonna make you famous.
Kind of play out interesting conversation, interesting questions. One thing over and over, I'm not going to settle. I became this woman over here, therefore I deserve this man over here. Well, lady?
Well, here's the thing. Kevin, you didn't settle either, did you? Right? You didn't settle. You didn't.
It sounds like she's trying to sound like Becky and Lakeisha at the same time. Right, they were epic, Charlize.
That's not what you did. You didn't find a woman. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. You didn't do that. You didn't have that. But you steady bashing women who say they want to wait for the right person. But you're the oracle, right? You're the sage of everything.
I'm trying to figure out why she released this video after he died, as if he was gonna be able to reply. This is crazy. I woke up to that thumbnail. Yeah, we talking about the pink pill community, so I had to show them pink gums.
Where was your wife? Hey, Triple. Do you want to say something? And Mocha Mommy came up for a little bit, and I think she dropped off. Mocha Mommy, if you're still here, come back. If you're still listening, come back. Hi, Triple. What did you want to say? Hi.
I want you to. I look at it in different sectors. I've been looking at this channel off and on. I was looking at Cynthia G. I was looking at all these channels on YouTube. And
what you doing up, Tony? We gotta do a live ASAP.
Please correct me if I say anything wrong, because I'm not the type of person to go off of ignorance and repeat stuff that's not true.
Okay.
And I do have a YouTube channel. I don't like putting out lies and all that. But so I appreciate you letting me on.
Okay.
It was very sick to sit there and listen to him say these things to women, to men. I heard him talk to a man, call him a fat, and I'm not going to say the word, about income. And I feel that he's a wolf in sheep. He was a wolf in sheep.
First of all, this channel is for women. It's called the Pink Pill. You can already tell he got a little sugar in his tank. They say that Splenda and the little sweeteners are actually sweeter than sugar. He got Splenda, stevia, sweet and low, and regular sugar, and raw cane sugar. You can hear it in his voice.
Clothing. There's rumors going on. I'm not even going to repeat the room. I said it in your chat, ma'am. I'm not going to repeat it. The rumors that are going on about him, that is unconfirmed.
And you know what, Tony? People still buying the disability dictionary. People are still emailing me trying to buy the disability dictionary. That was freaking epic.
Right now.
Yeah.
Just sick. I believe that he kind of had
And you know what, Tony? I hate that as a diabetic. I hate it. And when I say sweeter, I don't mean literally like it's sweeter than sugar. I mean people think it tastes sweeter than sugar. But yes, I hate that. That's what a doctor was telling me. And I'm just like, oh, man.
urban message, and he was never, for one, he was never going to get right because.
Wait a second. Thank you, Sherelle. Hey, I miss you.
Yes.
Good to see you. Sorry, go ahead. You said he was never going to what?
Yes, Charlize.
Get right, because I heard that it was a $4 million that he done made.
Yes, Charlize still got her disability dictionary. Yeah, I'm trying to cut you going down too, trying to get sissy. Man, say.
It's entirely possible. And guess what? That $4 million is worth to him right now.
It probably just goes to the estate or some bill collector or some back taxes.
Hopefully it'll go to his daughter, and maybe she will benefit and do something with her life that she, that there could be some good that came out of all the hatred that he spewed.
Hey, Chloe, I don't think it's hatred. It's truth. It is truth. Since when is truth hate?
Maybe, maybe his daughter, who is a Black woman, will benefit from, all of the hatred that he spewed. I don't know.
Yes, I have a question. For the Manosphere, are they the type of people that don't warning comes before destruction? Are they going to continue this mess?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we as a community, just in general, are very slow to read the writing on the wall. I don't think they are. Like they've lost 2 men this year. They lost David Carroll.
I didn't know.
They lost Kevin Samuels, which was like the king, and they.
So you want the Manosphere to stop? Why? I don't get it.
Had this scandal with the subway shooter being affiliated with the Manosphere. They've had several negative articles that have come out. Like they're taking L's all around. And you know what? They have it coming to them because they've put out so much negativity and they've been so cruel and awful and they have killed the souls.
How is it that we as women can say whatever we want to say about men, whatever, and men just take it? I'm sorry, they just cake it, right? In Melo's voice. But we get so butthurt over the truth. That's crazy.
Of Black girls and women, and have torn down the image of Black girls and women for since they were able to in 2009 when YouTube really started picking up, and started with Tommy Sotomayor. And so this is, if you guys, like I said, I believe, and this has happened to me too, karma comes for everybody. If I do something to somebody and I'm like, oh, well, okay, I did something. When it comes back to you, you remember, this is what I did to someone. And I remember.
Thank you, Chloe. Because we got the cookie.
And now I know how it feels. So karma is really, I think it's important. Karma is good for empathy. It's a way for you to have empathy because it's the only way that maybe you can
You're caking down.
understand how it feels when you do something to other people. Yeah. And so Faith Factor said, prostitutes have no stake in saving their tricks' lives. They will watch you die and rob you.
Angel Beanie.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys who are in the chat, who is this woman who was with him? He was saying Kevin Samuels didn't die alone. He was not married. So, I mean, because Kevin Samuels always says, well, you may have a guy who's willing to have sex with you. You have a guy that's willing to hang around you, but is he married to you? So he wasn't married. That means he died alone. So if you're going to use that template, the template that Kevin Samuels used about what...
Ma'am, your phone is ringing in the background. It sounds like a corporate type phone. Are you going in on Kevin Samuels at work, ma'am? You that bitter you couldn't wait till 5 o'clock?
Alone really is, then technically, based on his own template, based on his own criteria, he died alone. He died alone. Somebody said in the chat.
Married also.
Yeah, so I'm saying, if you're not married,
they in the chat lying. A woman he paid for companionship for the night. They just be lying. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Chloe.
You died alone. Some guy on the chat says, "This is evil. Gathering, celebrating somebody's death as if you are immune to death."
We're not celebrating. That's
yeah, exactly. So I'm not saying this is not a celebration. If I wanted to celebrate, if I wanted to celebrate the passing of Kevin Samuels, I would have done something like, well, keep talking. I'll find it. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Probably like Hot 97. They got that narrative going on. Maybe the other one, Endelenium, they have that narrative going on about celebrating. And I know that people do that.
I'm not celebrating.
Somebody said this is not a celebration, it's a eulogy.
Some people care less if he died or if he's alive and has no remorse.
There is power in the tongue. Him speaking curse over people's lives sealed his own face. So they're basically going to say, he always talks about women dying alone, so he died alone. Are most women slow? He wasn't speaking curses. He was just saying, if you're not married in your latter years, you're going to die alone. That's a fact. They're saying that's speaking a curse, so that's talking bad about people. Come on.
Have no negative talk about it at all because they don't really care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like I think about it. You don't care, but you live stream. Shut the fuck up. But think about it. That's like me getting mad at my doctor because the doctor said, okay, well, if you keep eating bad and you know you're diabetic, you're going to end up on dialysis. You're probably going to be blind. And you're going to have to get some limbs amputated. The doctor is not hating on me. The doctor is not spewing hate speech. The doctor is simply telling me facts. This is what's going to happen if you continue to do this. Why don't people keep that same energy with other stuff like that? Like if your boss tells you, hey, if you continue to come into work late, you're going to get fired. Right? Hate speech. You talking down on me. Like, get the freak out of here.
I mean, I only care because he, he hurt a lot of people. I don't feel either way. I don't feel anything either way. So, but if I was celebrating,
he hurt a lot of people for telling the truth that most of us weigh more than men. He hurt a lot of people. Get the freak out of here. He hurt a lot of people by saying that we need to be married or we need to marry before we carry. Look at him. Just hurting people, telling them we need to get married before we get pregnant. That we need to lose weight. And that we need to wear our natural hair. He was such a bad man. That's like saying you hating on your kids if you discipline them. Like, that's a freak.
Kevin Samuel's death. This is what I would have done. And it's.
Well, I feel like. She was trying to play some music, y'all. We not doing that.
Conversation. I don't know why they would come up. Maybe they had interest. Maybe they really wanted advice. Maybe they really thought that they was going to get. Maybe they did come up with comedy where they felt that content that he was given was going to lead. Maybe they wanted to get roasted. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of vulnerable women in the world who really seek.
Okay, well, if you're vulnerable, then don't call into a show or cam up with 20,000 people watching if you feel like you're vulnerable.
The approval of men. And they do a lot of foolish things because they really have that need and really want to.
Shekinah came up there. Shekinah, Joe. I remember she came up there and it was on petty.
Yeah, I mean, it's masochistic, and that's a whole other thing. I'll mention it later. But thank you, Triple.
I'm sorry. Check out Brittany Rayner. She did make a video, so I want you to see that video. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I will check it out. Thank you, Triple. Now we got somebody from iPhone on here. I don't know who iPhone is, but
hi.
Hi.
My name is Anna.
Hi, Anna.
So I just want to say, I mean, I'm sorry, but like you said, it's karmic justice. Like people saying, like, oh, y'all shouldn't be making fun of him. We're not making fun of him. We're giving him a eulogy. We're talking about what he did in life. And I just feel like, and it wasn't. People keep saying like you're.
I feel
upset about his opinion. It wasn't the opinion.
we just need to bottle up all of the I feels and give it to the people with neuropathy or paralysis. Just bottle up all the I feels. I just feel like, and give it to the people that can't feel nothing, that paralyzed from the neck down or the waist down. Be a blessing.
The ramifications of the opinion, just like Hitler's rhetoric had ramifications, so did his.
Oh, she compared Kevin Samuels to Hitler. Just when I thought I have heard it all. That. Are you serious?
So.
Exactly. So you can't expect for people to feel sorry. That would be fake. If I felt sorry, if I were to come up here and say, oh, I'm so sorry he's dead. I'm not sorry. I don't feel anything. I'm numb. I don't care. Right. I don't care. But when
how can you be numb with all them? I feel like, get the freak out of here. You feel.
Say is that look at his life and look at his legacy and look what he left behind.
A whole lot of money and a whole lot of clout. And what you gonna leave behind? A whole lot of I feels and debt.
Look at all the people
and yeast infection residue
all around, dancing around the fire. This is a eulogy. This is a eulogy. That's what I'm asking. I'm like, so what were the what were the things?
Half of these hoes can't even spell eulogy, and they need a urologist to figure out what's going on with their pee-pee. Yeah, the UTI having hoes worried about what Kevin Samuels was saying.
Remembered about Kevin Samuels that you want to share about his life while he was alive. Let's give him a eulogy. What were some of the things you?
Here's what I noticed, because I was at first of all, I was in just not a whole long story, but I was in middle school when Tommy Sotomayor got big. So
Tommy Sotomayor, what?
I'm 27 now, so this stuff has been going on for too long. But yeah, so I tuned into Kevin Samuels, and I am a thicker girl, come from a line of obesity. I've been trying to deal with that my whole life. So I was like,
there's a difference between thick and obese and morbidly obese. We not finna play them games. 350 pounds is not thick. Stop that. You big as a sumo wrestler. Stop it. You big as Snorlax. Stop it.
Maybe I should stay with my ex who we have.
If you are built like Grimace or Big Bird, you are not thick.
We have issues. Maybe I should, just work on
stability. So you might as well stay, because you're not going to get any better, because you're not fit, feminine, and friendly. So, you might as well just get what you get.
Exactly. That's what.
Right. She built like Smello.
That's the impression he left in my life. And then I just kind of got out of that, because I was like, if it's not making me feel better, I should move on from it. But what I went.
Did y'all catch that? They're so used to people stroking their ego and making them feel better. Even if what they're telling them is a lie. I just want you to make me feel better. Don't tell me the truth. Did y'all catch that?
His archives and did a long time ago, because men are always saying he talks to men too. I counted. So he bashed women 32 times and bashed men 1 time.
Lies.
See, a ratio of 32 to 1.
Exactly.
32 to 1.
When it could be said that they're the issue in the community, but you bash women 32 times versus the one time you talk to them. And those are
so they'll count how many videos he made to men but won't count calories. I don't understand that. They will sit there and watch Sesame Street with their kids and watch the count, but they won't count calories. I don't get it. Let me go to your page and count how many times you said what you said about men. Get the
statistics.
So, I mean, there you have it. There you have it. I mean, it's clear. You know,
that's what I was gonna say, Mr. Rhythm. He started out with men.
His last test.
These idiots, who you think he was selling the cologne to? He wasn't selling it to women. He was selling it to men and mellow. He started out with men.
His last testament. You guys saw the clip of what I showed. The last video that he did was again banging on women, saying that they were losers and they were going to be a party of one.
See, this is so disrespectful. Somebody is putting this in that chat. The kitten needed to be euthanized by God. That is so disrespectful.
And what are they waiting for? And blah, 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 blah. This is coming from a man who is not married and who has been divorced twice.
Look at that. He hurt a lot of women, spewed hate towards black women, said negative things about the weight and looks. He devalued. Get the freak out of here. How's that devaluing when you're telling people and giving them advice on how to make their life better? I can see if he was only trashing. He was trying to, he encouraged people to even look at, get therapists and stuff like that.
He wasn't even married for like a total of even 5 years. Not even 5 years, trying to tell people how to be married and tell women how inferior they are.
They'll lie and say it's the thyroid, Mr. Rhythm. It's my thyroid. No, it's them thighs you eating from Popeyes.
And then died of a heart attack.
And then died of a heart attack. The leading cause of death with black men is heart disease.
No, it's black women and child support. I said it.
And that's why I titled this Kevin Samuels might not have died if he were married, because it's true.
No, because you're trolling.
It's the absolute truth.
You're trolling.
Men live longer.
Men need women. Listen, I'm going to say this to the Manosphere. You want to talk about, I'm going to be by myself.
You titled that because you're trolling.
Be alone. Debbie Carroll was died. He wasn't single. He died alone. Kevin Samuels also died alone. So you still want to keep with that narrative? You still want to go with that? You're still going to lead with that? You still, like, any woman who still listens to these types of men tell them what they need to do to get married, then, honey, I need.
So let me explain something to you. Do you want to get married to another woman? Why would you listen to women about what men want? Shouldn't you just listen to men? Like, that don't even make no sense. That's like me trying to figure out what I need to do to join the army, but I'm asking people that work at McDonald's. Shouldn't I just go to a recruiter and talk to them? How these men gonna tell women how to get married? Probably because it takes a man to get married. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things.
For you to get down on your knees and pray for God to transform you. Because these men are not even living the lives that they're telling you. They need you.
She said she was married for 20 years, Chloe. And I'm like, okay, so you're talking about Kevin Samuels only being married for a total of 5 years with his 2 wives, but you wasted 20 years of your life only to divorce that man.
Men need women. Stop acting like.
I told y'all about the plastic pussy with the sex doll. They don't really need us. That was his point for saying. Remember he would always talk about how we need men when it comes to doing like strenuous activities and lifting heavy things. And he would always give an example of that reality show or something he was watching, to where they had to behind the scenes like cheat for the women just to give them a, you know, a fair chance because they weren't strong enough. They couldn't do certain things. I don't think that makes me less of a woman if I say that I need a man. I don't think that makes me less of a woman. Men are stronger physically than women. But these women think it's an insult.
We need them. They need us. And if I'm going to be totally honest, we need them too. We need each other. We do. We do.
We do indeed. But we do.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. I wouldn't marry a Kevin Samuels. I wouldn't marry him if he was the last man on earth. Absolutely.
Lies. You wouldn't marry him because he wouldn't look your way. That's why.
Well, not I wouldn't. I would die alone and be okay with it.
Thank you for having me, letting me come on and speak. But I already said what I said. His last video was a party of one. Now look where he is. And
yeah, and you know what? He died a party of one. That's exactly
like we all will.
Exactly. Yeah, he died a party of one. Exactly what he said. Do you guys understand how God has a sense of humor? He was like, okay, I'm gonna show you. Listen.
He truly does.
It is what it is.
Leave God out of this when it comes to this. Because if that's the case, we all deserve things. If we're gonna bring God into the equation.
It is what it is.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Thank you. Vanelle, you're up next time.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. Not much.
Even got a nigga name. A nigga name. Hi, Chris.
I'm not too bad. I was just looking into the fact that I've seen a couple of his videos, and majority of the ones that I've seen has been him bashing Black women, especially single mothers. And I think I saw a clip of a conversation.
Not bashing single mothers, simply telling women that if you have children, you are less likely to get a high value man. How is that bashing? What up, Michael? It's not.
Between you and him, where he stepped a little bit over bounds by, I trying to remember exactly what he said, but I think he was trying to get you to feel ashamed.
Oh, now it makes sense. She's butthurt. She went on his show before. Whoever she is, she went on his show before and got checked. That's why she's happy that he died. Makes sense.
For being a single mom.
And at first, we only had one encounter. And this is before he really was hard banging on Black women. He was going after the men, trying to make the men be better. And so me and, I don't know if you know Kendall St. Charles, that's what we knew him as. And we were like, oh, this is good. There's a Black guy.
Oh, getting on the men is good. You see that? You see? Oh, it wasn't good when he started getting on the women, though. You see what I'm saying?
Telling men what they need to do and try to be better. And that's what I knew him as before he became what he became. And he invited me to come on his show. Hi, Valerie TV. Thank you for the super chat. So many men need to go back home and learn how to take care of themselves. So at first I agreed, and then I decided, well, I'm going to do some research on his recent videos, because whenever I decide to be a guest on somebody's show, I want to research and have a little bit of better idea of who they are. And so that's what I did. And in doing that,
like, did y'all honestly just hear her? I was thinking, oh, this is great. A guy is checking men, telling them what they need to do better. She was okay with Kevin Samuels telling men what they need to do better. But when he started telling the women,
it became a problem. Y'all just heard that. That is a double standard.
I heard some really disturbing things about how a woman called in who has twins, said that her husband was abusive and she left him. And he didn't even ask what the abuse was. He just told her that she needs to go back on her hands and knees and beg him back. And I was like, you know what? I can't be responsible for that. I'm not going to endorse that. That would not be right. And there were people who told me that I made a bad decision. They were like, Kevin Samuels could have really made you, help you blow up. You could have been, you could have been this far if you would have just jumped on the Kevin Samuels train. I don't do that. That's not what I represent. That's not what I do. And I am not opportunistic in this way. I don't go where the wind blows. I have to do what is right.
And the lie detector determined that was a lie.
My soul, every part of me has to do what is right.
That's what I was going to say, Philip. She took it out of context.
I have made decisions that people have said are a bad idea, but I know in my heart it's the right thing to do. When I decided that I was not going to endorse Kevin Samuels for all of the Black women who I represent, because let's face it, at the time when I was on...
Yes, sir. I'm going to drop the link right now. I'm going to drop this link like it's hot. Hold on. Where we at? I was going to, I ain't know it's kind of late. I ain't know if anybody wanted to chime in, but here is that link right now. We are currently listening to a channel called The Pink Pill, and I can't stand this lady. I'm gonna try to get a one-on-one with her.
On the channel with him, he had not even had as many subscribers as I had, and I was not going to give the tactic green light for this man. I was not going to do it. And as a result, yeah, he tried to...
Whoever wants to come on the panel, make sure you don't have any music or anything like that.
He came after me. He tried to, he was petty. He tried it, whatever. But listen, and there's things that I've said about the divestment community. There's things that I say about that. I said, listen, this is not something that this is not a direction that I think is right, and I have to do what I feel is right.
Now, see, if I don't know something, I'm going to look it up. Let me see. Investment. I don't know why I feel like it has something to do with dating out the race, or I don't know, the action or process of selling off subsidiary business interests or investments. What? No, divestment, slang, I guess. Let me see. To masturbate using scissors. What the y'all? I'm not playing with y'all. How do you masturbate using scissors? Get the freak out. I'm about to show y'all this. So y'all know I'm not lying. I typed in divestment slang meaning. Hold on, let me put it on the computer. Divestment slang meaning. Y'all finna see this. I know you lying. Share. Who the freak out here masturbating with scissors? I know there's such thing as scissoring. Look at this. Scissoring, but Urban Dictionary to divest. Y'all gonna see this. Masturbate using scissors.
Let me see. Oh, let me get this stupid thing off the screen. Tony.
All right,
Oh, let me put my
what's
head.
up with you? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me? Because
Yeah,
we
been
had
a
issues.
long
Yeah,
time.
long time no see. Long time no
All
talk.
right, let
How
me
you
add
feeling?
my cousin.
Yeah.
No, that makes I'm good. Hold on, let me add it. My cousin.
So
Tiff,
I'm gonna address.
I'm
I
trying
just
to
I
see.
just want to pop in here real quick. I just wanted to address a couple things with what she was saying. Like, cause I've never. I was taught this as a kid. You never dance on somebody's grave. That's the first thing you never do.
Mhm.
You never dance on. And she tried to dance on his grave, and it's like she was so smug. But my whole thing is, you weren't that brave and weren't that smug
these.
when he was
Tell me,
alive. You know. Here we go.
why we going to the
Mhm.
same?
You
Welcome to
call
the
what I said?
live. To the person
My bad.
named my cousin.
Chloe's cousin, Michael Wilson.
What's going on?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Now, did you hear what Tony just said?
I was in another conversation. I'm sorry. Who
No, I
Okay,
said?
heard.
well,
I heard somebody some masturbate with scissors. What is that?
yeah,
Yeah, I heard that part. Yeah, that was is divest, I guess.
You
That
gotta
was an
cut some
urban
stuff up, man.
dictionary.
yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't quite what I don't think that's what.
Okay, I
Mm-mm.
guess.
I don't think that's it. But
Hey,
well, what are your thoughts on this Kevin Samuel situation?
it's a site called Vegetable Foods for Junkies. It was like he was like on he was like on Instagram Live or something like that. Hold up. He was like on Instagram, like it was a girl, she was like be like 28 or something. It's still like his clothes. Look, it's a little fun. He was on Instagram Live or something like that, and it was this girl. She was fairly attractive, whatever. She said something. He damn near cursed the woman out. I'm saying
Mm.
she's like I don't like light skinned women, so you know what I'm saying. But she had no problem. She wasn't overweight as big. I mean, overweight or whatever. And she was out in the danger zone, nothing like that. But he criticized. I don't know what about that woman. There was another woman on there had no problem whatsoever. He told the woman she's living in Nebraska. He said she needs to move somewhere else.
Mm.
That's
Does that
probably what
sound
it takes
positive?
sometimes though.
I understand that. But if he can't find a problem, he got a problem. He said the problem is she don't stay where she wants to stay to find shit. The man that a quality man is in that city. And you can't tell me all the women has taken up those men. You can't tell me that. I mean taking up those women. Well, however it go.
Well,
That's my problem with him.
well, again, I was if I may reiterate, you
Right? Can
never
you can
dance
you
on.
go to a quieter background, my cousin?
Hey, mute me.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you. All right, go ahead, Tony.
All right, so like I was taught this again as a kid. For anybody who never caught it, you never dance on somebody's grave. That's the first thing. Second
Mm-hmm.
off, she sounded so giddy and like elated that this man was gone because he basically called out her own iniquities, her own inadequacies, her own lack of effort to do something about her situation. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just keep it a band with you as a man who does, who is out here dating. A lot of times, the more as should I say, our corpulent cousins. That's another word for fat, SAT word. Our corpulent cousins, they tend to they get swiped left on. Now there's some men that like that, but that's not the majority. That's just the God honest truth. Now, with that being said, it's not that that's the only thing that makes you swipe left on somebody. It could be the fact that again, she's a single mother and nobody wants to say this, but no man without kids wants to deal with somebody that's got kids because they know for a fact that that woman will never be able to fully commit to him. She will never be able to put him. She'll never put him as any sort of priority whatsoever. Because that kid always gonna come first. And if they bad kids, he damn sure ain't gonna stay around.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Samuels was only talking about that in most cases. Now, I'm not somebody that watched every podcast or watched every live stream or episode of his, but I agree with some of what he said, not everything, you know. And like I said, I'm not happy he's gone. It's unfortunate that he went out that way. But again, when it comes down to it, there were things that he was talking about. The whole fit, feminine and friendly. That's just what gets your attention. That gets his attention. That gets you in the door. If I saw a woman who was fit, feminine, and friendly, I'm more likely to speak to her, regardless of how that interaction turns out. But if it's somebody that don't care nothing about herself, she damn sure can't care nothing about me.
See, yep. Did you see Charlie said for some reason these haters think they won? That's crazy.
Well, it's like this. Somebody can die, but you can't kill a movement.
Mm.
You can't. Because there's more and more people that have opened their eyes up. Like he opened a lot of guys' eyes up that they can do better for themselves, in all honesty. Like, because I asked myself some questions. I'm like, hold on, I got a pretty decent job. I got all my own shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't bumming rides off nobody. I'm not staying in somebody else's spot. So, with that being said, I can actually demand a little bit better. That's just the
Mm-hmm.
God honest truth. A lot of dudes do settle because they've been taught that you're supposed to do any and everything for her because she has ultimately what you want. But then when you think about it, it's like, well, wait a minute, what is she doing and what is she bringing to the table? That whole bring something to the table question is not necessarily to bash somebody. It's like, okay, if push comes to shove, can I count on you to still be down? That's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is. So the question might necessarily come out like that. For me, I'm not gonna ask somebody what they bring to the table, but I'm gonna ask them like what are their thoughts on certain issues. So again, like I said, I don't agree with everything he said, but at the same time, I'm not happy that he's gone either. So there you go.
I just feel like how can I put this? I just want to be a sheshy stud. But in all seriousness, it really feels like us women, we're not used to men having standards.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. We think men will sleep with anything. We don't have to bring anything to the table but our vaginas.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I do appreciate Kevin Samuels for that. But what are some of the stuff that you disagree with?
It's more or less, I guess I say delivery, and a lot of it was the place he came from. See, with me as a man, I'm used to somebody fussing at me to get right. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But a lot of women necessarily aren't. They're not going to be receptive to that message. Like I was talking to my father the other day about this, and he basically said he was brutally honest with the emphasis on brutality,
Mm.
and a lot of people ain't going to receive that. Now, with that being said, they chose to call in.
Hmm.
And I think there was another YouTuber. Her name was Shalakemia, and she posts similar things that you do as far as the Manosphere, etc. And she basically made this post earlier saying that nobody said anything when Maury is counting millions with his wife after posting the dysfunction of Black people and their inability to be married before their parents.
Hmm.
That's the Jet Magazine version of what her post was, and that's a fact. Nobody said anything. Nobody says anything about the Maury Show. Nobody has anything bad to say about it. But Kevin Samuels talks about the same thing, and there's an issue. So, I mean, again, he was speaking about our issues, but he came from a place that was more abrasive. That was a bit more aggressive. But he basically was saying the quiet part out loud and what a lot of us guys do think. A lot of us if we have the option, we're not going to swipe right on somebody that's overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what your reasoning is, we're not going to swipe right on you. I damn sure don't, you know. And it's and I get it, you know. There's all kinds of reasons why people get overweight, but I mean, do something about that shit. If you really want that kind of change in your life, do something about it. You know, seek out a nutritionist. Try a different exercise program. If something ain't if something ain't right, if something ain't working, you try something else. But it has to be important enough for you to do it.
But for most people, but for most people, they rather just bash the messenger instead of change.
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
it's okay, Michael.
I mean, when it comes down to it, okay, right. Again, the messenger himself might not have came in the form that people would hope, but I mean, if you ask somebody, okay, how do I lose weight? You're not going to ask the person that's morbidly obese eating McDonald's or Burger King. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? You're not going to do that. If you want to know how to be a business person, you're not going to ask the homeless dude on the street.
right.
you know. So if you want to know exactly how to get what he terms a high value man, then you're going to ask somebody who actually is in that category if he'll give you the time of day. I look at it as him giving his time, which is precious because that's the only thing we can't replace. He's given his time and energy trying to fix things, and
Mm-hmm.
it might not have been the most palatable way of going about it, but it was at least an effort I see. Now I'd rather him around than punk ass Derek Jackson. So
Yes. Yes.
because Derek Jackson isn't what he portrays himself to be. Well, according to him, all dudes weren't shit. All dudes weren't worth a damn thing. They weren't worth anything. If the guy does this, if the guy questions you or asks you about this or tells you da 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 da, that means he's not worth your time. And he basically gave a license and a voice to single mothers who ain't got their shit together. Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody tried to pull, and it was somebody I was talking to a couple years ago, and Shorty tried to pull his bullshit as to why I should be tolerant of her bullshit. And I'm just like, listen, you can't tell me a damn thing about about commitment. Okay. You can't tell me nothing about commitment. You can't tell me anything about staying together. You can't tell me anything about uh fully giving yourself to somebody when you have two kids by two different fathers and
Uh-oh.
they didn't see fit to commit to you,
Mm.
you know? Because the issue was because I can't get nobody pregnant. I got the surgery. I don't want no damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now she tried to get me to get it reversed. And I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Not for nobody. I told her straight up, I'm not doing that. And she basically said, I got commitment issues. I said, no, I don't have commitment issues. You're just somebody that's not worth committing to. You know, real,
See?
real
Mm.
shit. Just like they want to call somebody a pick me, that just means you ain't picked. Real talk. Anybody
Mm.
that comes out and says, hey, maybe we shouldn't be so shitty to the opposite sex, they want to call them a simp or a pick me. It's the same thing. Now, am I for treating women correctly? Yeah, best believe you get a full service over here. But am I going to just give that to any old body? Am I going to commit to somebody who within days of getting her phone number, she want to talk about bills she need paid? No, that's a bum. That's a whole bum. That's a bum and a half.
But we're not used to men saying that to us. We're used to getting our way.
This is true. You're used to getting your way because some people they always got that way, or they realize that They realized that because of who they were in high school, they could always get that way.
Mm-hmm.
And now that nobody gives a fuck who you were in high school anymore, it's been 15 years since I graduated. This year will be my 15-year reunion if we have one, if I decide to go. All right. I don't give a fuck about nobody I went to high school with. And consequently, um, anybody who most of them did peak in high school, and they still living off of that. But as far as the Chub Scout who you were referencing earlier, who was glad that Kevin Samuels is gone, that go to show you right there. He basically said most men do not want somebody that's obese.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want somebody that's obese. Whether it be whatever your reasons are, they don't want that. You know, and you gotta shape up and ship out. So
Shape up or ship out. We gonna end on that note. It's tight, but it's right, Tony. It's tight, but it's right. And we gotta schedule something for this week. Also, you and my daddy gotta go at it again soon. Soon. But I think we're gonna get the people what they want. We're gonna get the people some mellow stuff this week. Me and you.
okay,
We gonna
well, I
mm-hmm.
have work tomorrow night, 11 to 7 Eastern time. So
Mm-hmm.
and I work the weekends typically. So you already know there are difficulties with that sort of scheduling, but yeah, case in point, I'm down with that. The disability dictionary and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gonna give them what they want this week. Cause she do have a couple of new videos we need to talk about. But
Oh,
I
does she see? I ain't been watching her. I thought she
mhm.
was finished because people ain't donating no more.
Oh no. She always got a scheme of her diaper. You know that.
Yeah, scheme up a diaper. That's terrible.
But
The
yeah,
smelly
yeah.
scheme.
I'ma end this live. Thank you for joining me and thank you everybody in the chat. And I will see y'all next time.
No problem. Appreciate everything you do.
All right. Peace out.
All right, good night.
Good night.